Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a steep learning curve for me too. I realized after filming that whole last video that it only goes 6 minutes and 30 seconds, so I've set an alarm for myself now. So we were just finishing with the pyx in the verse. So the next thing we want to look at in terms of celebration of the Eucharist here on the altar is something called a corporal. It's very often folded into just a square like this, and it's always placed upon the altar. It's never opened up like a picnic table cover, and it's unfolded like this. And it makes into 9 squares almost always. And this is where we would place the paten and the chalice for the celebration of Eucharist. And the idea of the corporal is to hold any pieces of the body of Christ that might fall out of respect and reverence. And so when it gets folded up, you'll notice it folds in on itself so that it would capture all those. And so, of course, the Latin word for body is corpus, so that's where we get the word corporal from. The purificator is almost always folded into a rectangle like this. However, when you open it up, it gets to be about this big, and its job is to purify the chalice when we're receiving the precious blood, because once again, the chalice is one shared by all. And so these are often used to purify as we are receiving from the precious blood, obviously outside of a pandemic. As part of the celebration of Eucharist, of course, we have these things called cruets. This would have been brought up from the gift table, and this is a cruet is the name for a container for liquid. So this would be the wine cruet and the water cruet. Now, there's no difference between the two of them, just depends on which one you pour what in. And so as part of the celebration of Eucharist, there's a ritual hand washing. And so the priest will have something that looks like a bowl like this, or it could look like just a flat tray. That's called a lavabo. And then there's just a simple, nice towel to dry the hands with, so that water is poured over the priest's fingers or hands as part of that ritual washing. And there's nothing special about this, by the way. This is not holy water. This is just tap water that's in there. And then that would be taken back over to the credence table, which will be something we'll look at later if I forgot to mention that in the very first video.